Franzone, and welcome to Michael Franzone Ministries. Hope you like and subscribe. Today we want to talk about 6 ways to make a good, godly first impression. But first, I want to let you know that my new podcast, The Conservative Mike, is out. The Conservative Mike is out. We are on iTunes. We are on SoundCloud. Just in the search engine, just put The Conservative Mike, and some of my great shows are coming out, and we want you to be part of that as well. So we're really excited about that. Again, this is the new year, so I want to say Happy New Year to you folks as well. All right, you ready? 6 ways to make a good, godly first impression. It was Margaret Thatcher who once said, "I usually make up my mind about a man in 10 seconds, and I very rarely change it." As Maya Angelou wrote, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time." You know, how many times have you ever heard this saying, you only have one opportunity to make a good first impression? All right. Now I want you to think about it for just a little bit. When you meet someone, you're actually taking a tiny sample of his or her entire life, because we scan people kind of based on our mental database. We match all people that we meet sometimes with presumed characteristics. And yes, sometimes a little prejudice, sometimes a little judgmental. I understand that. And sometimes it's just a gift of discernment as well. Remember the old saying, you can't always judge a book by its cover. Let me add something to that. You can't always judge a book by its cover, but the look of that cover may keep you from finding what is in the book. So why are first impressions so important? Well, just think about all the other areas of your life. I mean, new loves, meeting new people, personal relationships, job interviews, school, work, you're asking for a raise, you're a salesperson, you're meeting potential in-laws. All of those things have to do with first impressions. But the caution is this: many people, and most of the time unintentionally, put out the exact opposite message they want to convey. And a bad first impression can haunt you for the rest of your life. It can haunt you at least for a long, long time. First impressions are a fact of life, so let people see the best part of you. I always say watch the first look. And here's why. Some studies show that within 1/10 of a second, people make judgments about you. Maybe they are snap judgments. I mean, so you've got to think about the things that you need to avoid immediately in order so people can see who you really are when you first meet someone. So here's a few things that you can avoid that I think will turn people off. Obviously, being distracted or inattentive, looking the other way when you meet someone, being unkempt, smelling, deodorant is a big deal, crying, being negative, argumentative, being silent, not saying a word, just staring, all right? Being rude, being disrespectful. All of those things are really important. So we need to understand that we need to watch those very, very first impressions, because they can make you or break you, even that 1/10 of a second. All right, here's the first thing. Number 1, learn to smile. If you want to make a good first impression, learn to smile. I think it's Proverbs 15:13 talks about having a happy heart. A genuine smile is the gift that keeps on giving. An average baby smiles 200 times a day. The average woman smiles 62 times a day. But the average man smiles 8 times a day. Think about that. It takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So you have to work on it. When you're frowning, you've got to work on it, all right? Even ugly people look a whole lot better when they smile. God smiles. Numbers chapter 6, verse 25 says this: the Lord will smile on you and be kind. A genuine smile can trigger the release of endorphins and dopamine, all the feel-good hormones. So even if you don't feel like smiling, just begin to act like it, and pretty soon those good feelings will come. Think happy, Be happy inside, and that genuine smile will come out. Now, the second thing we need to look at if you want a good first impression is project confidence. Now, people can smell arrogance. They can. People can smell arrogance and pridefulness. So how many times have you walked into a room and met somebody and you can kind of tell that they're very arrogant and very prideful? Studies show job interviews are basically decided within the first 3 or 4 minutes. Your body language, too, is important as well. Smile, shake hands, be kind. Don't be prideful, don't be arrogant, but be confident. Because insecurity can show up as fear, and that could be a turnoff to a lot of people. So let's begin thinking in the right way, being confident and in who you are, not being arrogant, not being prideful, all right, but being confident. And the third thing is have fun. Now watch. Rejoice in every moment and opportunity that God gives you. What a good lesson for the new year, isn't it? Look for the humor in every situation of life. Just stop and smell the coffee, as they say, and enjoy your life. And don't take yourself so seriously. You can see this in Proverbs 17:22. He talks about a joyful heart is like good medicine. People are attracted to happy people. Now, number 4. Are you ready? Hope you're keeping up with me. Dress for success. It's sad that we form opinions of someone by the way they dress before they even open their mouths. I mean, I remember this. There's a TV commercial on right now where a guy and a girl meeting each other on the first date. She's just dressed wonderful. She looks great, but the guy has his T-shirt on and it's all sagging here. And she makes a little comment about it. She doesn't criticize him, but you can tell that first impression almost lost her. Then he gets Tide or some kind of detergent or something, and everything's great, and he's looking good after that. It's all about first impressions. Don't be perfect. Just be the best you can be. Clean up. Use deodorant. Shave. Comb your hair if you have hair. Coco Chanel, and you ladies know who I'm talking about. She said this: dress shabby and they remember the dress. Dress impeccably and they remember the woman. All right, number 5, build rapport. So far, you've met this person and they have not run away, they didn't hit you, and they didn't throw up. So it looks like that first impression is going along pretty good. Now you have some hope and with that first meeting, and now you can start building rapport. And one of the great ways to build rapport is listening. And I think listening is the key. You will impress more people by your ability to listen to them. All of us want to be understood. All of us want to be liked, and we all like to have our opinions asked about and valued. So listen and remember the person's name, say it back to them, every person you meet, and don't focus on whether you're making a good impression. Don't try too hard. Again, we talked about all these other things. Just relax. You've cleaned up. You've done everything. Just be who you are. So relax and call the person by name and make it all about them. What is it? James chapter 1 verse 18 says to be verse 19 rather says to be quick to listen. I guess how many times have you heard your pastor say that's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. He wants you to listen more than you talk. Listening is the key. And number 6, the last one, is be genuine. The first moment is critical. Don't give them the political handshake. Now, you know what the political handshake is? You're shaking someone's hand and they're already looking at the person behind you. Now, I've seen pastors do this a lot, and we've got to, because they get overwhelmed with people and they just got to meet everybody. And when you meet someone, look at them in the eyes. Be real, be genuine. Don't think about the person behind them or what you got to do. When you're meeting someone, first impression, let them know that you are genuine, you're real, and you're interested in them. And when you look at them, you make a conscious decision to spend a little bit of your life in those few moments with them. And that person will feel valued. And the secret to making first impressions, I believe, is sincerity. It comes from the heart. The Bible talks about the words coming from an upright heart. I think it's Proverbs 21:29, Proverbs or Job 33:3. I'll put those below so you can see that in my little comments there on the bottom. But being sincere means to be honest, to be of pure heart, to have no disguise, to be of honest intention, no false pretense, not hypocritical, having pure intentions, not being fakey, just being who you are. Now this is exciting. So I hope you listen. Go back through this again. I will put notes in the bottom so you can see what it means and list these points out so you can see what being sincere really is. But you can see that this is your time to make a good, godly first impression. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, go to iTunes, The Conservative Mike. God bless you. Bye bye.